You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got some leaked info that came to me from a source. Big stuff about the upcoming weddings, Doug Williams' funeral, Body and Soul, and also Abigail Devereaux DiMera's big comeback. Let's dive into all this spoilery, juicy goodness. But if you're not following us, please click subscribe first. All right, just real quick, I want to explain a little bit about my source. This person is mostly reliable, largely reliable. There are a few tidbits they've given me that haven't turned out 100% exactly as they said, but they've got a pretty good percentage of coming in accurate. They clearly have some good intel coming from somewhere, and since they're happy to share it with me, I'm happy to share it with you. But just to be clear, these are not official spoilers from NBC Peacock. This is a leak. No guarantees, but it looks good and it sounds good to me, so I'm going to tell you about it. Let's get into it. So my source says there is definitely a double wedding ahead. Xander and Sarah will share their big day with Teresa and Alex. Maggie Horton is pushing Teresa and Alex on this week, and though Teresa and Sarah rejected the idea when Bonnie Kiriakis suggested it, Maggie will get them to change their minds. And the source also says the double wedding will be a blast. In past leaks, I was told that Teresa's big lie about the will forgery comes out at her wedding thanks to Xander's mom, Fiona Cook. There's still no RSVP from Fiona, so I suspect maybe she crashes the wedding, but she will know immediately what Teresa did because she's the one who wrote the letter that Teresa altered. All right, that's all on that leak. So this next leak is about Doug Williams' funeral and exit storyline. So the source told me Doug's going to get a good send-off, which confirms what I expected, what we probably all expected. But then they also told me something really interesting, that some of the people that are back for Doug's funeral will stick around Salem after the big 15,000th episode on December 4th, which is the sad farewell to Bill Hayes' character. And of course, this week on July 11th on Days is the last episode for Doug and Julie together ever. They have some very sweet scenes, but that will be the last episode Bill Hayes ever taped, so soak it in. I've already got my double boxes of Kleenex at the ready. It is going to be emotional for all longtime viewers who love Bill Hayes. As to who might be sticking around after Doug's funeral, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people coming in for it. So I am really wondering who stays and why. You know, we've got Sean and Belle and Sierra. We've got Lonnie and Eli, Jack and Jennifer, Steve Olson, Gloria Chandler, Lucas Horton, and of course, Hope Brady. And Marie's back too. I would be over the moon if Hope brought Bo back with her, but there is no sign of that yet. So on to now the whole Body and Soul thing. My leaker says they are going through with making this soap within a soap thing happen. And Lady Whistleblower, aka Leo Stark, is said to be the head writer of the soap that Kate and Abe will produce. The leaker said, which I thought was very funny, that Leo is supposed to be basically Ron Carlivati, who is the head writer of Days. It's very, very meta. I mean, they're both guys running a soap. They're both gay. Just, it's interesting. I think it has potential to be fun. We'll see how it goes. In addition to Leo being involved with Body and Soul, the leaker says Nancy Wesley is back. They are bringing in Patrika Darbo again for this special storyline. I love me some Patrika. That's kind of interesting, and I'm wondering in what capacity. You know, Nancy was never a career girl. She doesn't have any skills that apply to being part of a soap that I can really see, but I was told she will have a role on the soap. So I don't know if that means a role acting or a role behind the scenes, but it sounds like an acting role. It's also kind of interesting for Nancy to be involved in a project with Leo since he was sleeping with her husband, and the reason that she finally found out her husband was gay. All right, so now let's talk about the cheating info that was leaked to me. This is very interesting. It was vague, but interesting. So I was told somebody will cheat and it's out of character for them, and that the whole incident is very destructive. The only additional info I got on the cheating was that it is none of the 1980s characters. So I take that to mean no Patch and Kayla, Marlena and John, Kate and Roman, none of that generation of the older characters. With that in mind, I was thinking, who is in a younger set and it would be out of character for them to cheat? Just thinking about the under 60 age set. Rafe and Jada are together. Rafe's cheated before, so it wouldn't necessarily be out of character for him. Going a bit younger, we have Xander and Sarah, and it would absolutely be out of character for them to cheat. They are so smitten and so in love that I can't even picture it. Alex and Teresa, it wouldn't be out of character for either of them. Gabby and Stefan are another younger couple. Stefan can be a cheater. He cheated recently with Ava. Gabby usually is not a troublemaker, a gold digger, lots of things, but not necessarily a cheater. So I'm still kind of noodling on who the cheaters could be. Definitely drop your comments if you have a thought about who you could see cheating that are in the 55 and under age set. Last, but certainly not least, I want to talk about Anna Lynn McCord's character, who right now may or may not be Abigail Devereaux DiMera back from the dead. We don't know. So far, Clyde said to Chad that Abby is not dead, and then he sent him to a safe deposit box where there was a flash drive of a video of someone whose face can't be seen clearly. That is Anna Lynn McCord. So from those two things, there's just no telling. Last week, Chad talked to Kayla Brady about whether Abby could have survived the stabbing and being declared dead. And in the past, just as a reminder, Kayla told him affirmatively Abigail was definitely dead. But while talking to Chad, now she's kind of changing it. She's wavering. She mentioned different drugs could induce a catatonic state with a very low pulse, low enough to possibly be mistaken for dead. But then she reminded him Abby was buried and would have been embalmed. So, which even if you were alive, that would kill you. Formaldehyde put in your veins will pretty much do it. So that led to Chad's next big idea, where he headed to talk to Paulina. He wants to dig up Abby's body. And by this Thursday, Jack and Chad are shocked when Abby's coffin is exhumed and they see what's inside. If it's empty, does that mean Abby is alive? Well, according to my leaker, no, because Anna Lynn is reportedly not playing Abby, but is a look-alike who Clyde Weston hired to mess with Chad's mind. I will say that certainly sounds like something that cruel Clyde would do, but I could also see Clyde faking her death to lock Abby up so he could torture her for information to see who else might know what she dug up about his drug ring. So if our leaker is right, though, that is definitely not Abby, but Chad might think she is for a while. I'm looking forward to seeing more of her during July sweeps, and that is all the leaked info I have right now. Thank you for listening.